Yo, what is up, ladies and gents? I am Noah from Snag&BagFishing, and today I have a monster bass unboxing video. Now, last month's unboxing did pretty well, and I had a lot of feedback from a lot of the subscribers. If you are not subscribed, remember that hitting the subscribe button is free, so drop a like, give me a comment, and always feel free to hit that subscribe button. But today, this is July's Lunkerhunt Takeover box from Monster Bass. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, I saw a sneak peek of this box, and I haven't opened it. Obviously, I just opened it, but this looks like a good box this month, and I am ready to fish this stuff. You guys can have the first peek. I haven't looked at all yet. I just opened it. I don't know if you guys can see anything good. Okay. Right off the bat, they have some amazing topwater baits right on top. Some very interesting looking topwater baits, but topwater nonetheless, and topwater is always fun to throw. Now, the first thing that I see in this box on the very top is this Lunkerhunt spider. If you guys don't know what this is always what catches everyone's eyes at places like Bass Pro Shop. You see this thing and you have no idea what it's for, and very little people, when they walk into the lure aisle, very little people don't look at this. Like, this thing looks very interesting, and I can't wait to fish this. It looks like a spider. Look at that. Look at that bait. It's literally a fake spider. It has like two frogging type style hooks because it's soft plastic hollow body. I mean, I think it floats. I honestly don't know, but I would imagine it floats because topwater spiders. Wait, what? I would imagine it floats because, I mean, there's water spiders and they are on the top of the water, so it should be pretty interesting to throw. It's a darker color, but it's got a lighter belly. So I think I'll probably be throwing this when it's a little more cloudy, just because, I mean, it has the dark accent on the legs. Now, the next bait I see in here is a jerkbait. Now, I don't have a lot of jerkbaits. I don't use a lot of jerkbaits, but I know they do amazing in clear water. So I am really excited to use this thing because I don't really use jerkbaits up here. This is the jerkbait. It's got like a golden shiner, kind of golden shad with like a little clear bottom right there. It's got the shad dot, dark top right there. It's a 6 foot depth. It actually says it on there too, I think. Yep, it says it on there. 6 foot. It's got a little bit of a smaller jerkbait lip than what I've seen. It's a ½ ounce in weight and it's 3.5 inches long. They call this the Distress 6 foot from their Impact series. I think it has a rattle. Yep, it has a rattle in there. Should be pretty good. Like I said, with jerkbaits, you usually want to throw these in clear water, and it doesn't really matter the bottom. You can throw this across grass lines, but I would prefer to throw this in ponds where there's more like rocky bottom, just so I don't get this hooked up, or don't get the trebles hooked up on weeds, because it's never really fun. But yeah, that's our jerkbait. Next up in the box, we have another topwater. This is a topwater frog, which is actually all white and black eyes. I've never had a fully white topwater frog, and it is a popping frog actually. Lunkerhunt's popping frog. I have had a smaller frog with the weird legs, but I have never used a larger frog like this. Now, if you don't know what Lunkerhunt's frogs are known for, most of their frogs have these like sporadic legs that kind of fold in and out, and they go like that in the water. They're pretty cool looking, and they do have some sick action, and you can definitely work this as a topwater. I mean, obviously, it's meant to throw as a topwater usually. You can rip it across the top, or you can pop it And then I think the one I've had, if I pop it, it sinks a little bit. And where I fish, singing frogs do damage. And white usually works for any type of bait. So I see this working really well. I don't have a popping frog yet, so this will be perfect for my collection. I believe we have another topwater in here, yep. This is a Yappa bug from their Yappa series. It looks like a little, it looks like a really big moth style. It's very interesting looking. I believe this is also soft plastic. This is a Yappa bug out of the box. It has a soft lip. It is hollow body. It's all white, and it's got a very interesting shaped lip. I've seen these before. I know these are on a lot of older style topwater baits, and I've definitely seen them on newer baits, obviously, but I'm pretty sure this is kind of like, it pops, but it kind of walks. So it like does that kind of motion on the water. And I've used a lot of walking baits. I don't think I've used a lot of popping walking baits, but popping baits tend to work really well by themselves, and then walking baits tend to work really well by themselves, and you put them together in this profile, it's bound to catch some fish. And usually with all these topwater, I'm going to be throwing them right on top of weeds or grass. If I see frogs, then I usually throw topwater, or if I see dying shad on the top, I always throw topwater. So this will probably work wonders. Now the next thing I see in here is a pretty interesting looking one. These are actually their swim baits, I believe. They're swim bentos, what it says in the package. Very interesting looking. They are in perch color, which I have a lot of perch by me. In Illinois, perch are everywhere. And if you go farther north, they're like everywhere. I know I fish in Wisconsin a lot, and there's a lot of perch there. So I mean, this will definitely get bit, and swim baits are good in general. This is a 5-pack, and they're 4.5-inch swim baits. They don't have any scent to them, but I mean, I don't know if they'll need scent. They look pretty juicy anyways. They're really skinny, so you might not be able to, if you're throwing a thicker hook, you might not be able to just straight up put the hook up and out. You might have to Texas rig this kind of style. You might have to like Texpose this. And I mean, I know swim baits for me work really well on drop shots. A lot of people don't like to throw swim baits on drop shots, but when I'm using small bait fish imitations like little shad, or in this case, this little perch, if I nose hook something like this, then it always gets bit. And I might even put a swim bait hook on this. It doesn't have a line there for the swim bait, but if you put a weighted swim bait or an underspin on this thing, and it will probably shred. This looks amazing. Oh, there's actually 3 things in the box, but there is 2 more baits. This is a craw, I believe. This is their craw. It is black and blue, very good color, especially up here. I mean, it comes with a hook, and these are pretty big craws. It comes with 2 hooks actually, 2 EWG worm hooks, I believe. Nope, 2 wide gap hooks, yep. These look already pretty good. Let's open them up. Usually when I'm throwing craws, I'm going to Texpose them just because that makes the most, or not Texpose them, Texas rig them, because that just makes the most sense. And oh my gosh, these actually look super interesting. Wow, this actually looks like a craw. It has claws like a craw. It has the face. It has a pretty big profile. I wouldn't throw this on the back of a jig, but I would definitely Texas rig this. And wow, this will have a lot of action. It has 3 different spots for it to wiggle. So this should be pretty good. And it came with 2 EWG hooks, and I believe this is an 8-pack. That's a lot of craws that are this size, and 2 EWG hooks. That's a pretty good combo right there for that. And this is definitely a full pack for sure. For the tackle of the monster bass, there's some Daiichi hooks in here, which there's a red hook. There's like a red EWG hook in here, and then 2 straight shank worm hooks, which, I mean, Daiichi's a pretty good brand, and it already came with 2 EWG hooks, so these would be pretty good. Pretty standard Daiichi hooks. And I believe this is the final bait in this box. Yep, it's the final bait in this box. This is these are the Lunkerhunt worms, I believe. These are the Lunkerhunt stick baits. They're the worms. They call this color leech. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's like a really dark green pumpkin. I think they're salted. They definitely smell like they have a little salt. Ooh, they have like a weird bend, all of them, at the end of the tail. Got a lot of action. They're a little skinnier in the middle. They look like a Senko. You would definitely Texas rig this, and you can also probably wacky rig this pretty well. It's got different action on both sides. I mean, it'll do wonders anyways. But I always throw green pumpkin. I either always throw green pumpkin or purple stick baits, and they always work. So especially if you're throwing topwater or something and you miss a bite and you've got nothing other than a Texas rig, if you either flip a craw in there or a stick bait, most often they're gonna bite. They're especially gonna bite a 5-inch worm. 5 inch is like the sweet spot for length for these stick baits. All the Senkos from Gary Yamamoto everyone buys them 5-inch because they just are like the perfect size for everything. And especially when you have 10 of these things, I would not be afraid to wacky rig. This is a full pack, and there is a lot of baits in here. I believe this is the final bait in here, but it does look like they do have some more stuff in the bottom. They have a Lunkerhunt sticker in there, which I'll probably put on my tackle box because I love Lunkerhunt, and their products are pretty amazing. They've got their little promo for their fishing products. I mean, pretty sure that was obvious that they're gonna do that. And finally, the Monster Bass sticker. Now, I like this one a lot. This is a very small profile sticker, obviously, and American flag stickers are always great. I'm definitely gonna throw this on one of my tackle boxes. I have so many, like, need to put more stickers on them, so should be pretty good. And there is one more thing in here, but I'm not gonna show you what it is. I'll show you the backside. It is the, they threw in a 20% off online store thing in here. So that's pretty nice of them. Well guys, that was the Monster Bass box unboxing for the month of July, the Lunkerhunt Takeover, and I am pretty happy with this month's box. There was a lot of tackle in there. There was plenty of soft plastics. There was 3 full packs of soft plastics, a swim bait, a craw, and a stick bait, and they had multiple topwater baits. But if I were to say one of my favorite baits for this month's box, it's probably got to be this topwater frog right here. I love throwing topwater, and I've always wanted to go out and buy a popping frog, but I've just never had the need to throw frogs that often, so it didn't cross my mind to buy any when I go to the stores. And this color is gonna slay. I always throw either the normal green frog, the straight black frog, or the straight white one. And I know a lot of people don't use white, but if there's a white body in the bottom, I always get bit on baits that are white. That was this month's Monster Bass box. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, give me your feedback. Don't forget, subscribing is free, and if you would like to support this channel, it would be awesome for you guys to subscribe. I know this video is probably out a little bit later than normal because I did not get the box on. I know this video is probably a little later than normal because I got this box on a Wednesday, and I wanted to film this video and edit it instead of posting my normal fishing video, because I know you guys would rather have a monster bass box as fast as possible, especially for those who don't know what kind of box they want to buy yet. So that was this month's box, and I was super excited for it. And again, monster bass gives what, and again, monster bass is worth it. So like I said, please drop a like, give me your feedback, and this has been your boy Noah from Snag&BagFishing, and I'll see you guys all later. See ya.